Hey guys, Martin here. You'll notice at the beginning of this that there is a very different looking behind me background. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a very different background going on in this video. And it's not that I've changed locations or anything, it's just that our roommate Caitlin has constructed a bunk bed for her to sleep on because up until now she's been sleeping unceremoniously on the couch. And so she's finally got her own actual bed that she's built with her own two hands, and it's actually a lot. I think it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing than the background I used to have, which was a miserable looking futon with a bunch of plushies sort of left draped on it. But you make the call. I think it looks better. I mean, the good news about it is that it's so white that when you look at me and you look at that thing looks more white than I do, which it's very rare that in a video that I do there is something more white than this. I'm here this week, and I'm here to talk to you about how I've been handling my depression in the last 7 days or so. Not specifically how I've been handling depression, I guess, but in this instance, but I want to talk about just how I've been handling life, which is part of it. So here's what's been going on with me. I don't know how it is with you, with depression or without depression or however you're feeling. When I'm feeling miserable, I don't want to do anything, and that's a trap that you can fall in a lot of the time. I fall into it all the time. I would say, if I don't want to do something, it doesn't take much encouragement or discouragement to make me just give up and move on to something else. But a big part of handling what I'm going through anyway, a big part of handling, depression in my life is by setting myself small goals to accomplish. And this past week, something that I found very handy was just tidying and sorting stuff out. Like yesterday, I actually was having a pretty bad time. I was having a bit of a rough moment. I was crying a lot, and I was like, if I don't do something with myself, if I don't busy myself, if I don't take all these, like the sparks of energy in my head that are going straight towards, feeling sorry for myself, if I don't take that and project it towards something actually constructive, then I'm just going to sit here and cry the rest of the day. So I just picked myself up and I started, busying myself, and I did some cleaning. In fact, this whole past week we've been kind of redecorating. It's handy. It's something that is in my back pocket. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be an option, and it's important with the way I handle things anyway, to always have something available as a go-to to rescue myself in the moments where I feel completely alone and panic stricken and feeling like there's nothing that I can do to stop it. And a lot of the time, distracting myself is all it is. It's like if I'm tidying, if I'm cleaning, or if I'm working on a video, that is enough to keep my mind off the negative stuff that's often running through there. But it's a temporary fix, obviously. It's like putting Band-Aid on a wound, and while it doesn't necessarily mean the wound is completely gone, it helps. It feels better, and it definitely helped me feel better this week. I've been up and down. I've been up and down emotionally, and I'm sure I said that last week. I've been up and down, but that's been the way it's been for a couple of weeks. I've been like a yo-yo, a very whiny yo-yo. That's been me. We were gonna put together a collage. I don't know what the word is. I think it's not montage. They would be able to tell you because they're the ones who did it. Mariana and Caitlin put together like uh, they took pictures, scraps of things that had happened in our lives, not just in the past like year since moving in together, but just life in general that has happened to us that's important to who we are right now. And they put all these pictures together in like they framed it. I don't know what the word is. I could go out there and ask them, but I don't want to. But they put that all together, and they wanted me to contribute to it, and they wanted me to pick images that were important to me, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I couldn't think of anything that represented me right now. I couldn't think of anything that represented the way I feel that wouldn't have made me feel miserable. And I'm really sorry. I'm trying not to cry. This is like my third attempt to say this. They wanted to put an image on the wall of just all these different images, and it was supposed to be a positive thing. And I sat down and I looked at all my pictures, and I couldn't find something that I even recognized that was a positive memory. You know, I don't know where this is coming from, but I couldn't find something. You know, even one photo where I could hold it up and be like, yeah, this is me at my happiest. And if I look at this, I recognize that that's me, and I recognize that that's a good moment in my life that I want to put on the wall, and just be reminded that this is who I am and where I am right now, because I don't, where I am and who I am right now isn't something I want to think about or acknowledge or recognize, because I just don't feel like myself. It was difficult for me to confront, and it's difficult for me now. But I'm sure I just rambled over all of that, and it was difficult to understand. But all I was saying is that when Mariana and Caitlin look back on pictures of themselves from the last few years, and they can, I feel, I don't know what they're going through, but they're obviously able to pick those images out and say, this is what I want to represent me. This is what I want to remember. And when I look at pictures of myself from the last few years, or even before that, I don't even know who that is. And I don't even know that I can be that again. If I see myself being happy, I ask myself if I was faking it or if I was actually feeling that at the time. If I look at myself with friends, I have to wonder if I was even in my own mind at the time. I ask myself if I was happy, or if I was. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel a lot of the time, because I don't know whether to believe it or not. And that's why it was difficult for me to pick out anything to represent me, and I'm really sorry that I'm crying through this whole thing and I can't even look at the camera, because I don't know how else I'm going to get through this. I don't know how this got so bad. And I'm really sorry. I wanted this to be a simple thing, and I wanted it to pick me up, and it didn't work. I don't know what else to say. But they have the montage up, and it's really nice. It's a really nice collection of pictures of everybody, even me, and the dog, and the animals, and I feel like this video is just I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to say that even though I can't look at the last 2 years and find anything positive, there still is something positive to find. I just can't see it right now, because I'm not looking through my own eyes. I'm looking through the eyes of somebody who's got, depression. Sometimes it puts its hands over your eyes and says, you can't see any of this good stuff in your life because, I don't want you to. I'm not going to let you. But there is stuff there. It doesn't matter if you can see it or not. There are positives there, and even if none of them are happening right now, they're gonna happen. They're coming to you. I promise you. There is stuff to look forward to. There are happy memories that haven't been made yet, and there are happy memories that have been made that it might be difficult to draw upon at times for strength and for comfort, but they still happened, and they still happen to you, and even if you can't recall them right now, there are other people who shared in them with you who can, and they'll always be there to remind you of them. It's just that right now maybe it's not easy to talk about or think about, but you'll be able to talk about them and think about them again one day. You'll be all right. There is evidence that you'll be okay, because you're sitting right here listening to me, and if you didn't want to be okay, I don't think you would be. So, I don't think I would be talking right now if I didn't want to be okay. So, we're going to be okay. And one day I'll be able to look at an image of myself from any point in my life and know that, maybe I'm not feeling good right now, but I did feel good. It's just hard for me to believe it. And I feel so whiny. I feel like I'm whining. I feel like I'm doing nothing but whine and complain. But I don't want to end this on a bad note, so if you have anything that you like to do to take your mind off these kind of feelings, please share it in the comments, because who knows, maybe there's something that I'm not thinking of that I've overlooked, or that I could try myself. Obviously exercise is a big thing. I need to do more of that. The printer's going off, and I'm just going to end it. I hope you're doing okay.